interview shoes even look like?
No sneakers. Remember, you need to be presentable.
I want them to think I'm laid back and cool.
Sorry, pal. You want them to see you're serious about how you present yourself. You'll be fine, Mads. How about you wear the shoes you wear to church? I think I saw them in the living room.
I'll look for them. Thanks, Mom.
Film first started, I thought it was going to be similar to like other films, or like other stories where you like it's like a little sister who like doesn't want her big brother to leave, and then it like took like this kind of like dark turn. But I think that's what made it so unique. And I felt so bad for her because you can see the pain and like the sadness in her eyes, like when she's like talking, like she genuinely did not mean to do this. And, you know, it makes me wonder her story. Like I wonder if she even, like, has control of what she can do, or if she, like, knows how she's doing this or anything. And, you know, the ending with the priest yelling at her just made the tensions, like, continue to rise and continue to, like, you know, like, just, like, get stronger and crazier. So, yeah, I really like this film, and I wish it was longer because I really, like... I want to know more about it.
There was already some sort of unease to the beginning where I knew that he wasn't just going to have a normal day going to a job interview. He seemed shifty. There was a strange energy between him and his sister. And I think that built up very effectively to that big moment. That was quite shocking. And once that moment hit, the stylistic choices used were really cool. The holding up of all the black dresses to reveal the young girl sitting in the shame and the grief of what just happened. The angled shots of the church, the zoom in close to the funeral. You really did feel that paranoia and that anxiety of this young girl. And I thought it was a really neat piece. And that final shot of one of the site cleanup people cleaning up the blood was just a very deadpan and funny way to end it. I appreciated that.
Visually, this film has everything going for it. And credits were also pretty grim too, with her sobbing upstairs and the gentleman downstairs sopping up the mess.
I thought this one had some really good moments in it. I thought the idea was smart and clever and just perfect for the short film format. In fact, I think this film itself, it's sort of just the quintessential short film. It's got all the elements that you kind of expect in a short film. It delivers on them well. And you're just presented with this nice and neat, tidy little story. That's a bit of a kind of feeling to it. And it's worth the watch.
I thought this was really well done. I thought that the young girl's acting was really good. I thought they explored some interesting themes with, like, the dad obviously, you know, trying his best or trying to do what he had to do for his family, and the young daughter not really understanding and being disappointed, which is understandable, and, acting out. And, you know, in a way, it's like one of those things that, like, you would do to your sibling or you would do to your friend or something like that, like to play a small joke. But obviously this had repercussions, and pretty bad ones at that. And then just like her at the funeral and slowly, you know, delving into the guilt and everything that was kind of that she was having to deal with and try and move past. I thought all of it was really well done. I thought they built the kind of relationship and dynamic between the father and the daughter from the beginning, so you didn't feel like it was like her overreacting or anything like that. It felt like this was obviously something that had gone on again and again and again, with the dad kind of having to, you know, or not being there or having to do other things and whatever else. So I thought it was really well done altogether.
You can really see in her eyes that she's having trouble processing what had just happened in that moment. There wasn't any screaming or panic or anything like that. It was kind of just shock and just taking the moment in and thinking, oh my gosh, what just happened? And I mean, you feel for this poor girl as we see the guilt and the panic just slowly building up inside of her as the funeral arrangements and proceedings are happening. The finish, or the very climactic finish, I should say, with the priest yelling at her, to be completed by a shot of someone mopping up Maddie's blood, was just, wow. It was, there was a lot of imagery and really creative technical shots, and choices were made. And I thought it was very well done. It was very well performed and well shot.
Normally, when we see grief explored for children, there's a silver lining to it, or there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. This film chooses to examine it before the end of the tunnel is even in sight. So it ends harshly, so to speak, with the child very still much in the state of mind of, this is my fault, there's something I could have done to change this, it should be me, etc., etc. We have all these feelings and emotions that reach this pinnacle at the end, and there's not a resolve, which oftentimes it takes a very long time in grief to reach that resolve. So I actually think it's good to have a film that doesn't necessarily show the relief, because it's a reminder of what it feels like living in that moment before there's any relief even in sight.
It is an interesting character study in that we are looking at a broken relationship that exists because there are themes of religion, guilt, neglect, jealousy, childishness, the need to grow up, that are all culminating in Matt and the character of Maddie's motivation to get to his job interview. I find it interesting that he's referred to simultaneously in the movie as Matthew as well as Maddie, because he really does exist as a boy child, as a man child. I think that the scariest thing about Stay was that it is really unclear who the villain is. There is definitely an antagonist, because there is all of this circulating conflict that is making the storyline tense. And because of the preacher's demands and screams, we sort of feel that it is religion itself that is to blame for the broken relationship that exists, that required her to need his attention so badly, which resulted in his death.